Do you like RGB stuff? Yeah, me too. Today we're going to be making a custom RGB desk lamp. To start things off, we're going to need to start with some wire connectors, an RGB light bulb controlled over Wi-Fi. I used a porcelain fixture socket, along with an 8-foot cord and an on-off switch. We're going to need to start off by unraveling our 8-foot long cord, and we're going to use 2 of our wire connectors on it. Notice that 3 of the wire connectors have female and 1 is male. So that is because 2 of them will be connecting straight to the switch and 1 will be connecting male to female. Here you can see the 2 posts that the 2 female connectors will slide over. Now we need to find the labeled or printed on wire on our lamp cord set, because that is going to be our black or negative wire, which is going to be our hot wire for this. We're going black to black, white to white, and we're going to do both blacks from both the porcelain set and from the 8-foot cord set to this. Now you can see I have it all hooked up and we got power. Now it's time to pull up the app, make sure everything's working. Once switched on and connected to the light, I'm able to have full control over it, and I'm glad to see that everything is functioning as it should. So that was easy enough, but now it's time for the hectic and more time-consuming part of this build. As you can see, I have lots of pre-cut pieces of plexiglass and plywood. All of these are going to be square 5 by 5 inches. Currently that's the stack of 11 pieces of 1/4 inch plywood. To the right of that, what I'm about to show is that I have 5 pieces of 3/4 inch plywood, followed by 9 pieces of plexiglass. Now for kind of demonstration purposes, I'm going to kind of mock everything up as how it's going to come out as a final product, just to give you an idea of what's going on. Right now I'm switching off every other layer, plexiglass and 1/4 inch ply, until I run out. As you can see, these 2 pieces that are shown right now have a pre-drilled 1.5 inch hole to let the fixture sit in, and the light bulb extends out above that. And to house the electronics and the switch in the bottom, I have 2 pieces that are going to be hollowed out at the bottom, followed by the bottom piece of 3/4 inch plywood that's just going to be a cap for the bottom to close things off. As you can see, the hole I drilled in 1 piece of 3/4 inch and 1 piece of 1/4 inch are 1.5 inch for the drill bit size. And I do want to take this time to mention that you should, while you're operating all the equipment used in this sort of a build, use all of your PPE, including ear protection, eye protection, and respirators. And as always, safe practices around machinery. Now, as you can see, I have everything laid out in the general design that I came up with for this build. Keep in mind though, this is not necessarily a step-by-step video. This is just kind of documenting my progress as I went on in this project. And actually the main reason for that is that I was kind of making this up as I went and was just kind of experimenting with what I thought would work best. So now you can see the jigsaw blades that I used. One was a clean for wood bit that I used on all my plywood cutting, and the other, which was the top image, is a bimetal bit that I used for cutting the plexiglass. One thing to keep in mind with this is when you start your jigsaw in the middle, it is always important to drill a big enough hole for your bit, and also so that you can maneuver around. This was kind of my pileup of scraps afterwards. One thing I definitely learned through this process though, after breaking multiple pieces of plexiglass, is that it's important to take all of your pieces, so multiple layers, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 layers at a time, and to stack them together very tightly in a little bundle and wrap them up in painter's tape. That was the one method that worked for me very well, to keep them from shattering upon contact with the blade because they're very fragile and brittle. But that was my best strategy I figured out for that, and it ended up working out very well. Now this part especially I was expecting to be very hard, and that is notching out the exact size hole that I needed for my switch to fit in. And I actually didn't have too bad of a time with it. I just marked out the depth on the piece of 3/4 inch plywood and was able to use the jigsaw to cut straight to that depth, and then I use a chisel to knock out the rest of that piece, and it fit perfectly and snugly right in there. I followed this exact same procedure to make the cutout for the lamp cord to go out the back, as you can see on the bottom of the frame right now. And here we have all of our pieces laid out. On the left we have some pieces already glued up, and as we work our way over, these are our different layerings. We have our 1/4 inch and our plexiglass. Here's another view of the base. Those are where all the electronics are going to be stored. There's a top view for you to show where the switch is going to fit in. And here are our 3 pieces as they kind of come together. It still looks really rough, but it will clean up. As far as adhesives go, I used Titebond 2 as my wood glue to glue wood to wood, and then when it came time to glue the 1/4 inch ply to the plexiglass, I used this product called Lexel. It worked very well. It's clearer than most silicones, but the only drawback was that it took a very long time to dry. And then it came time to trim all the sides of the enclosure on the table saw. I did not include a video clip of this because I don't want people after me for safety in the comment section. And then once that was finished, after flipping it over and running it through the table saw multiple times, I did lots of sanding, sanded it up to 220 grit. And then for the bottom piece, the bottom cap, I used a product called Super 77 construction adhesive and some felt, and felted the bottom of it to make it a little bit kinder on surfaces that it sits upon. But now we have an enclosure with no top, so that meant I needed to build a top. So I cut a plexiglass piece that fit the exact same 5x5 square, drilled some holes in it, and put some hardware through. And then I drilled matching holes in the top of the enclosure for those just to sit in, friction fit, and here's the final product. Overall, I'd say that I'm very happy with how it turned out. I'm also very happy with being able to not only turn it on and off with the switch on the front, but also to control the brightness, the colors, and some different fading patterns, all through an app on my phone over my home Wi-Fi. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, leave a like. If not, leave a dislike. As always, you can express yourself down in the comment section, and have a nice rest of your day. Oh, and also, maybe consider subscribing, because that might just maybe give me the motivation to put out like a video a year. I don't know, we'll see. Thanks.